When thinking about learning networks, my learning networks, I've come to realise that I have transitory and permanent networks. I do not necessarily see them all the time as learning networks, but I do see them as learning connections. My networks are realised through my online personal learning network and through a mixture of informal learning, formal learning, and learning as a teacher and as a student.
To recap, these transitory and permanent learning networks can be characterised by my own personal learning network, also my own informal learning networks and formal learning networks.
Informally, I've built up over the years a loose network of train travelling companions that I would describe as weak ties, loosely connected, but of good quality due to the diversity of my travelling companions and the personal nature of their interactions in this network. Also, informally, I also learn a lot with and from work colleagues. Again, the network is good quality due to our shared interests, spin-offs from our work focus, and again due to the personal nature of the interaction in the network. Referring back to my online personal learning network, and I'll divide this further into passive elements such as delicious social bookmarking and Google Reader for my RSS feeds. I then see an active element to my personal learning network with elements such as my Learn or Doodle-dastic blog, my active searching of Google and YouTube, and my participation in the many Ning social networking sites that I'm a member of. My passive learning network I would describe as high quality, as I have the power to control the quality of information that comes into the network, even though the network is based on weak ties and loose connections, as I have very little to do with the human nodes supporting my learning. My active learning network, surprisingly, on reflection, I would say is of moderate to good quality compared with my passive learning network. Google searching can have limited, if narrow, results. YouTube searches I find a lot more use and more productive. There are learning benefits to being active, and that is where I see the most value in writing blogs and creating social networks in Ning. I have personally yet to experience wholeheartedly the learning network benefits of blogging and participating in Ning or other social networks. The loose connections in a Ning social network do not suit me as much as being part of formal education or training, but both have their purposes, and I gain value from both learning experiences. With regard to formal learning, I find that both as teacher and student, I find this most enjoyable type of learning network that I'm involved with, even if they are more transitory than permanent. I find that having shared goals gives strength to our formal learning networks, and I also find that I learn more in the role of a teacher in thinking through design of learning activities, which forces me to learn about new technologies and new ways of delivering material. Finally, in conclusion, just to say a few words about the connectivism course. Thoroughly enjoyed being part of the course. Not been able to engage with it as fully as I would have liked, but the biggest thing for me has been exposure to the many different philosophies and philosophers throughout the history of learning, which gives me plenty to look into and think about from here on in, and develop my knowledge of instructional design, teaching and learning. Thank you. My formal educational experiences recently have been conducted in many ways in an informal mode, give me the opportunity to be creative, be curious, be inquisitive, and find my own way through. But nevertheless, I do like to have that framework to fall back on and to guide me.